Hi friends, this is Anna Hellman with Scrapping, Stamping, and Stuff. I just got my magnetic cutting plate for my new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I had a chance this morning to unwrap it and actually start using it. And this magnetic cutting plate is such an improvement over what we had previously offered. So I wanted to hop on here and share a little bit about it with you. So here is the cutting plate. Show you what it looks like. It is very thin, okay? This is a lot different from what we have had before. So first of all, let's talk about what the benefits of this cutting plate are. It does replace one of your clear number 3 cutting plates with the new machine. So instead of using both of those number 3s, you're going to use a number 5 on the bottom and then that other clear cutting plate on the top. So some of the benefits, the biggest benefit about this new cutting plate is it is magnetic across the entire surface, and because of the way it was created, the magnetism is not different in different spots on the plate. So when you put a die in place, it is going to stay exactly where you put it. It is not going to jump around. If you have been doing this for a while and you had that big clunky old plate, you know what I'm talking about when I talk about the dies staying in place. Some of the smaller dies, even some of the bigger ones, sometimes you would lay them on the plate and they would not stay where you put them. They jump around all over the place. You'd have to either fidget with it for a while to get them in a spot they would stay, or use washi tape or something like that to hold them in place, which then takes extra time. So with this one, they're going to stay exactly where you put them, not jump around. When you are stamping images and then die cutting around them, this is a huge advantage because you really want to make sure you get those lined up perfectly, and this really helps. Another example when the old one could be really annoying was if you were wanting to cut out nested dies where they fit together somehow. So here are a couple of our stitched shapes on. So if I wanted to cut a bunch of circles out, you could lay them on here and it would never fail. One of them would jump around and they would not want to stay at even spacing. So again, they're going to stay exactly where you put them. Make it possible to line them up however you want to. The other thing that I just discovered that I was a little bit amazed at was, okay, so let's say before with your old one, if you had one of these, you put your dies on, you line up your paper, you get it where it's right, okay? Looks good. Then you would bump your paper or decide you needed to move your paper because, oh shoot, it is hanging off the edge, I need to push that in. Well, hey, now we can just push the paper and move it around where we need it. With the old one, as soon as you move your paper, your dies are jumping around all over the place. They're not lined up anymore. So this is wonderful. Definitely an upgrade. So let's look at this plate a little bit closer. The top side of it is self-healing. So it is, the dies are going to cut into them. You can see some of the marks from my peony dies from the video I did just a little while ago. But this is a self-healing surface. To take care of this, Stampin' Up! Does advise that you spread your cuts out across the entire surface. Don't do all your cuts in the middle. You want it to wear evenly and not, you know, not all in a certain spot. So the front is the self-healing surface. The back is the magnet, of course, and it is the same thickness as the number 3 plates that come with your machine, okay? So when you're doing your die cutting, instead of using, let's grab our little templates here. Let's talk about how to make that sandwich. And if you're new to this, these diagrams are really helpful. So it's shown on both 1 and 2, but for die cutting, it says up here, using with thin dies, which is what we're doing, we need plate 1, plate 2, and then both of plates number 3. But this magnetic plate replaces one of the plates number 3. Plates number 3. So you put number 5 down. We'll put down our paper, get our dies lined up. And put this one on top. I'm going to bring my machine in here. We'll go ahead and actually cut these out. So I'm setting it in. Let's see if we can do this where you can see I push on the sandwich until it starts to feed into the machine. I'll crank it. At that point, I need to secure it with my left hand on the top. Crank that all the way through. And let's see what we got. Okay, here are our die cuts. You are going to love this if you have not tried the new machine yet. I highly encourage you to. Everyone I know who has this machine absolutely loves it. I would not have talked it up so much if I did not fully believe that this machine is a big improvement over what we've had before. So the magnetic cutting plate will definitely make your job of using your thin metal dies easier. So that is a really nice upgrade you can add on if you want to with your new machine. A couple of things about how to take care of this plate before we sign off. If you need to clean it, you don't want to use harsh chemicals. You can just use damp cloth to wipe it off. You also don't want to submerge it in water. And you do want to store it flat. I didn't actually show this, but this is actually flexible. Look at that. Amazing. So you want to store it flat to make sure it doesn't bend or warp in any way. Hope this was helpful. Maybe you want to include this on your next order. Please let me know if you have any questions at all about the plate or the machine. You can find more ideas and inspiration on my website at scrappingstampingandstuff.com. And I hope to see you again in my next video.